Episode 1. The Weakest Student. The taste of copper filled Uwem Bassi's mouth. It was a familiar taste, sharp, metallic, and humiliating. He lay curled on the red earth, the dust of the schoolyard coating his white uniform, turning it a shade of dirty brown. Above him, the sun was scorching. Typical for an afternoon in Uwem. The heat waves shimmered off the rusted tin roofs of the classrooms nearby, blurring the air. But the heat radiating from the boys standing over him felt far more dangerous. Uwem tried to breathe, but his chest felt tight. Every inhale was a struggle against the bruising on his ribs. He didn't move. He knew the drill. If he stayed down, curled in a ball like a frightened animal, they might get bored. If he got up, they would take it as a challenge.
Get up.
The voice sneered from above. It was Kai. Even without looking, Uwem could picture the arrogance carved into his face. Kai was tall, broad-shouldered with the heavy presence of someone who had already awakened a Tier 1 ability. Even without using his powers, his physical strength was double that of a normal human.
I said, get up, trash.
A heavy boot slammed into Uwem's ribs. The air left his lungs in a ragged, desperate gasp. The pain flared hot and white behind his eyes, momentarily blinding him. He coughed, spitting saliva mixed with dust onto the ground.
Look at him. He's pretending to be dead. Hey, Cyrus. Look, he's clutching that stupid necklace again, like a baby with a pacifier.
Another voice joined in. Cyrus. He was leaner than Kai, acting like the hyena to Kai's lion. His voice carried a nasty, biting edge.
Hey, Uwem, you think that piece of junk is gonna save you? Your parents are dead, boy. No spirits are coming to help you. It's just a rock on a string. A useless rock for a useless boy.
Uwem's hand instinctively tightened around the small, rough stone hanging from a leather cord around his neck. It was ugly, gray and cracked. It looked like gravel you would kick down the road, but it was the only thing his mother had left him before the orphanage took him in. It was the only proof he'd ever belonged to someone. Leave it alone. Uwem tried to push himself up on trembling arms. His muscles screamed in protest. He looked pathetic, shaking like a leaf in the wind.
Oh, the trash speaks? You want to keep it? Then fight for it.
Kai grabbed Uwem by the collar of his shirt and hauled him up as if he weighed nothing. Uwem's feet dangled inches off the ground, the collar choking him. He stared into Kai's eyes and saw only contempt. No pity, no humanity, just the look a predator gives to prey.
You are a waste of space, Bassie. Look at you. You are 17 years old, and you haven't awakened a single spark of chi. In this new world, if you don't have power, you don't deserve to breathe. You are a zero, and zeros get erased.
Kai pulled his right fist back. The air around his hand began to warp. Uwem saw faint red energy gathering around his knuckles. It was his ability, Iron Fist. A basic reinforcement skill, but deadly against an unawakened human.
He's going to use an ability. On me? Why? A normal punch breaks bones, but an enhanced punch? He's going to kill me. He's actually going to kill me, right here behind the school block, and no one will stop him.
Uwem closed his eyes. He didn't struggle. What was the point? He was weak. He had always been weak. Bam! The punch connected squarely with Uwem's jaw. The sound was sickening, like a wet branch snapping. The world spun violently. Uwem didn't just fall, he was launched backward. He flew 3 meters through the air and crashed into the rough concrete wall of the school building. His head snapped back against the cement. Crack! He slid down the wall, leaving a smear of bright red blood on the gray plaster. He hit the dirt, motionless. Darkness began to creep into the edges of his vision. The pain was fading, replaced by a cold, terrifying numbness. The sounds of the schoolyard, the distant chatter of students, the wind and the palm trees, sounded like they were underwater.
Whoops! Too much force? My bad.
Cyrus sounded nervous now. He stepped closer to the body.
He's not moving, Kai. You think you broke his neck? That sounded bad.
Kai snorted, the sound of someone completely unbothered by the violence he just inflicted.
Who cares?
He's a zero. No one investigates the death of a zero. They'll just say he fell. Come on, let's go to the canteen. I'm hungry.
Footsteps crunched on the gravel, walking away, fading away. Uwem lay alone in the dirt. His hand, limp and heavy, fell against his chest. His fingers were cut from the fall, bleeding freely. The blood, warm, thick, and full of life, trickled down his fingers. It soaked into his shirt. It soaked into the leather cord of his necklace. It seeped into the cracks of the gray, ugly stone. Thump. A sound echoed, not in the schoolyard, but inside his head, like a war drum beating in a deep cavern. The gray stone on his chest was heating up. It wasn't just warm, it was searing hot. The blood that had soaked into it began to hiss, evaporating into a red mist.
What is burning? My chest, it feels like it's on fire. Is this death? Is this what it feels like to die? Or is this hell?
Suddenly, the gray stone shattered. It didn't break into dust. It exploded into a blinding flash of black and gold light that only Uwem could see. The light shot straight into his chest, piercing his heart like a needle. Uwem's eyes snapped open. The brown irises were gone, replaced for a split second by a void of absolute darkness. A translucent blue screen, unlike anything seen in the standard Awakened watches, materialized directly in his retina. It flickered with static, then stabilized.
System rebooting. Ancient bloodline detected. Source classified. Aqua Ibom region. Checking vital signs. Host is critical. Initiating emergency protocol. Synchronization rate 10%, 40%, 100%. The pain in his jaw vanished instantly. The numbness in his limbs was replaced by a surge of electric adrenaline that made his nerves sing.
Welcome, host. The African system has been awakened.
Text began to scroll rapidly down his vision, filling his view with data.
Name, Uwem Basi. Race, human. Locked. Level 1. XP, 0 out of 100. HP, 2 out of 10. Critical state. Strength, 2. Stamina, 3. Spirit, 1. Chi flow, locked.
Uwem gasped, sucking in air as if he'd been drowning. He scrambled backward, pressing his back against the wall, clutching his chest. He blinked, rubbing his eyes, but the screen stayed there floating in his vision, tracking his eye movements.
A system? I have a system, but I'm 17. The awakening happens at 14. This is impossible. Am I hallucinating? Did Kai hit me so hard I'm seeing things?
Another chime rang out, sharp and urgent. It sounded like a siren. A red notification box flashed over the blue one, pulsing like a dying heartbeat.
Emergency quest triggered. Quest name, Survive the Predator. Description, the scent of your awakened blood has attracted a lower-tier spirit beast lurking nearby. It smells your weakness. It is coming. Time limit, 5 minutes. Punishment for failure, death.
Death? Uwem froze. He looked up from the screen. The schoolyard was empty. Kai and Cyrus were gone. The sun was dipping lower, casting long, eerie shadows. It was quiet. Too quiet. Even the birds had stopped singing. The wind had died down.
5 minutes. I just got this power, and now I'm going to die? What is a spirit beast doing at a school? The hunters are supposed to keep them out.
Then, from the dense bush behind the school fence, he heard it. A low, guttural growl. The sound of something wet and heavy dragging itself through the dry leaves. Sniff. Sniff. The smell hit him first, the stench of rotting meat and sulfur. Uwem struggled to his feet, his legs shaking uncontrollably. He looked at his stats again. Strength 2. He was weaker than an average adult male. He was prey. The bushes parted slowly. 2 glowing yellow eyes stared back at him from the darkness. And then the creature stepped into the light.